Welcome in this video on Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. I am Dr. Vinita Bhadoria, Associate Professor English, Government College, Behar. In this video, I am going to give you a brief introduction of Matthew Arnold as well as Dover Beach, the poem written by him. Matthew Arnold was a Victorian poet. He was born on 24th December 1822 in Laleham, Middlesex in UK, United Kingdom, and died on 15th April 1898, Liverpool, United Kingdom. His occupation is basically he is teacher in rugby for a few years. Rugby is the name of a school in which his father has also taught. After that, he was professor in Oxford from 1851 till 1867, and he is also inspector of schools in 1851. He was a poet and critic. He is a literary and social critic. His wife's name is Frances Lucy. She is the daughter of a judge. He is especially known for his classical attacks on the contemporary tastes and manners of barbarians, Philistines, and the populace. Barbarians are the aristocratic class of the society. Philistines are the middle class of the society. He became the true believer of culture in such works such as Culture and Anarchy. Few of his famous works are The Scholar Gypsy, a poem published in 1853, Sohrab and Rustam, published in 1853 again, Essay in Criticism, the most popular critical essay, published first in 1865, Thyrsis is published in 1865, Dover Beach, the poem which is prescribed in your course, and one of the most famous poem of Matthew Arnold. It was published in 1867. Culture and Anarchy. It was published in 1869. And there are many more works, many more books, many more poetries, many more essays are there written by Matthew Arnold. A very brief introduction of the poem. So when I explain you poem in the next video, you can understand the poem better than before. Dover Beach is his attempt to meditate upon the redemptive elements in the lapse of benevolent nature. The description of the moon-blanched landscape in the opening lines of the poem suggests stability, balance, and serenity that the poet desired for himself. This poem was published in 1867. Message conveys in this poem, through this poem, that it is only through love people can find the lost faith. Lost faith in what? Lost faith in religion, mankind, and also nature. Major themes of the poem are man, related to mankind, natural world, the loss of faith in mankind as well as religion. The poem is highly symbolic, full of metaphors, figure of speech, and imageries. The poem is melancholic in its tone because the poet has expressed pessimism in this poem. According to him, the world is full of misery. Even the Greek poet Sophocles sang it. But in olden times, the men had faith and love for each other, but that they have now lost and instead fight with each other. The poet is reminded of it by ebbing of the sea at the Dover Beach. There are 5 stanzas in the poem. In the first stanza, the poet sees the calm sea in full tide at Dover Beach. In the second stanza, the roar of the ebbing sea strikes a note of sadness in his mind. In the third stanza, he says that Sophocles was reminded of human misery as he heard the roar of the sea waves at the Greek coast. Sophocles is a Greek writer. In the fourth stanza, the poet talks that when the sea of faith girdled this earth, but it is now retreating. And in the last stanza, he asks us to love each other as this world is really a joyous place. This is the poem which is elegiac in mood and it laments on the loss of faith, of religion, natural world. It is sad in tone. It has a sad music like the slow, mournful beat of the waves described in it. It has that note of sadness and dissatisfaction that is so common in Arnold's writings. All things considered, it is one of the most beautiful poems in the language, simple and suggestive weight with a heavy sweetness, yet restrained in expression as well as sentiments. In this poem, Arnold's concept of nature can be well constructed to that of Wordsworth, to whom man was a nature's foster child. To Arnold, nature expends no joy, love, light, certitude, peace, and help to man. That has to manage on the basis of each other's help. Nature is quite indifferent to man, according to Matthew Arnold. Dover Beach is remarkable for the beautiful and effective picture of Dover Beach presented in it. With a few touches, the poet succeeds in presenting a picture of great beauty very vividly and clearly. The sound of the waves beating against the shore is also beautifully captured. The poem shows the poet's deep dissatisfaction with his age and its loss of faith. He puts forth the idea that the root cause of the miseries of men in the modern world is lack of faith. That is an idea prevalent in both the prose and verse of Arnold. The idea is expressed in the form of a beautiful metaphor. I told you before that he's used symbols, metaphors, imageries. Humanity is presented as a seashore. Faith as the sea. In the past ages, the heart of man was full of faith like a beach covered with sea water at the time of the flow of the tide. Today, the human heart is dry like a beach at ebb tide. Poem is very natural and use of metaphor is beautifully done. The metaphor is sustained throughout the later part of the poem, except in the last three lines, where modern life is presented as a dark plain where a mad battle is on. This metaphor of the sea emerges naturally out of the poem in gradual degrees, nothing is forced. The poem has all the symbols associated with great poetry. This poem is a clear picture of a sailor embarking at the twilight hour on a voyage and then heightens the meaning in the next images to express the last journey which everyone must make. So does Arnold in this poem. Build a beautiful picture of the calm sea and the moon-blenched shore and makes us aware of the fact that though from the distance the picture is so calm and peaceful, yet those who live near enough always hear the grating roar of pebbles and the eternal note of sadness, and then deepens the meaning by giving its philosophic content. It is highly symbolic. Every word, every line is symbolic. In the next video, I'll explain you the poem Dover Beach. Till then, thank you.